Listen. This season, yeah, it is like the footballing gods are listening to everything that I have prayed for this season alone. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna come to it in a minute, but look, you got Ole getting smashed 5-0 at home, and eventually we sacked him. Yeah, we did it really. Like he lost it at after the Watford game, but really the 5-0 is what done it. We know that, right? But we've got Man United in absolute turmoil. You've got Arsenal in absolute turmoil, as usual. Yeah. Um, you've got Tottenham. You know what? I'm gonna do a video on Tottenham. Yeah, I'm gonna do a different. I'm gonna do a video on Tottenham because they're bored. Yeah, they're bored doing some funny business. But forget that. Let me go to this one. So you couldn't ask for a better setup. Frank Lampard is gonna be Everton manager. You can't make it up. So we got this idiot from Chelsea, this overrated idiot from Chelsea. I don't check for Lampard. I don't check. Listen, again, this is always in footballing terms. Yeah, if I saw him on the road, no, if I saw him on the road, I wouldn't say none. But I wouldn't diss him. This is all purely on football. What he's like off the pitch, I don't know too much about him. Yeah, it's not a John Terry. See John Terry now. That's different. Me and John Terry's scum, and I'd say that to him. I don't check for that man. Period. Yeah, but anyway, back to Lampard. Lampard is it's a funny one because there's always been this Lampard v Chelsea thing that the media and other fan bases, to be fair, have stoked up. It's not a debate for Liverpool fans. We know Gerrard's better than Lampard. We don't need to go on panels. We don't need to go on polls, debates, watch the videos. Gerrard is better than Lampard. We know that, right? Yeah, Lampard can talk about his Premier League titles that he's won with billionaire money, with an array of stars from all around the world. All I'm going to say to you is this. If you can play with Igor Bischan and still win trophies, you're a G. If you can play with Jimmy Traore and still win trophies, you're a G. Can Lampard do that? Exactly. Exactly. Because if Lampard was such a GOAT, he would have been smacking it up when he was at West Ham. And when I mean smacking it up, he would have won trophies with them, with that squad. He didn't. Went to Chelsea. Then when Mourinho comes in, he's playing around Robin, Drogba, Ashley Cole, Czech. I could keep going on. Essien. Who ain't gonna shine in that team? You know what I mean? If one player doesn't do well, your owner goes and buys another one. Who ain't gonna do well in that team? Can he do what Gerrard can do? That's the difference. Gerrard could have gone to Chelsea and done what Lampard can do. Can Lampard go to to Liverpool at that time and do what Gerrard did? I think not. Not a debate for me. But yeah, this guy somehow. And you know what? The reason why I'm bringing up the Gerrard Lampard narrative, there's a reason why I've done that. Because how how Lampard was viewed as a player. So he's got this untouchable status, like he's this genius. He's just genius, Lampard, right? Absolute genius at Chelsea. But then he goes Man City, he don't do nothing there. And then somehow, from that, he walks into a managerial job at Derby. Just walks into it. No experience, no cutting your teeth at Mansfield, like Sol Campbell had to do. You know what I'm saying? Or Macclesfield, right? There's no cutting your teeth in a lesser team. He sat down and he selected a team that at the time was able to pump money into buying players. So see that Chelsea background that he grew up in, when basically you can have whatever you want because of Abramovich. He then has transcended that into his management career, where now it's like he's not going to work nowhere unless there's budgets and all these conditions and etc etc. So you're watching a dude who kind of, he has everything mapped out for him as a player, right? Because his dad Lampard Senior gets him into West Ham, right? You see how I thread everything together. You see how everything knits together. So his dad's legacy gets him the West Ham position. Don't tell me it's anything else, because that's what it is. Yeah, that helps him to get a move to Chelsea as well. Yeah, gets to Chelsea, stays there all his career. So he didn't go Real Madrid, didn't go Barcelona, didn't go Bayern Munich, Milan. He stayed at Chelsea, no problem, because Gerrard stayed at Liverpool until late, and then he went to the Galaxy, right? But this guy is always in a comfort zone. He's always in a comfort zone, and no one don't say nothing. Same way they look after John Terry, yeah? John Terry, Lampard, Giggs. Like, you can't say nothing about these guys. The stuff they do off the pitch is different, yeah? But you can't say nothing. These guys, Harry Kane, can't say nothing about these guys. But Lampard now, with his insulated career, walks into this Derby job now. He gets technically unlimited resources for the championship level, right? Because he's buying, I forgot half of the players he bought. I think like Waghorn. He had Mount. He was able to draw Mount in. He got Harry Wilson, and basically he had a war chest for the championship to get Derby out. Derby are going into administration right now, so that's how that plan went. But he didn't get promoted. So anybody else, if it was Chris Powell, if it was Chris Hughton, if it was Darren Moore, if it was Sol Campbell, all of them would have got sacked. Right? All them men would have got sacked. Without a blink of an eye, would have got sacked. Lampard goes from that to the Chelsea job in the Prem. So you see, failure gets rewarded because you don't get promoted with a a multi-million-pound championship squad. So he's less successful than Daniel Farker, who got sacked from Norwich. Right? I'm just trying to put all these things in perspective so you see where I go on. So he's less successful than Daniel Farker, but he manages to get the Chelsea job. And we know why he got the Chelsea job, ex-Chelsea legend. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But man ain't cut his teeth in the managerial realm. He ain't even done what Pep did. Pep sat in the Barcelona B team, and then he come up with his philosophy, and then he won. So you see, you can't say nothing about Pep. This guy failed at Derby, goes to Chelsea. He gets them through the embargo, so he couldn't really buy too much players. So he's managing the young players. That you can do that. You can do that. That's. I'm not saying it's not hard, because being a football manager, I'm not gonna trivialize it and say it's not hard. What I'm saying is, at the elite level now, that's probably one of the more easier things you can do, because nurturing young players is going to be far easier because you can shape them into your mold. Yeah, they don't know no better than if you're talking to Eden Hazard. You're talking to, your established player who's like looking at you like, all right, how's he going to run training? How's the tactics going to go? Because I was working under this dude, and we did that. Lampard gets sacked from Chelsea now when he gets a budget. So when he gets a budget and he's actually allowed to buy players, all of a sudden he can't take the pace. He can't take Chelsea where they need to go. Man gets sacked. When he gets sacked from there, his name somehow is still being thrown around all of the jobs that are coming up after that, right? But you got to check that there's certain men that I know who are still saying they struggle to get interviews for football clubs, yeah? Certain men that you look in the media, certain men that you see doing punditry, that shouldn't really be doing punditry, but they've kind of given up the ghost and said, you know what, man ain't gonna, we know what's going on here. It's the old boys club, right? But you look at it, if you strip it down just for business terms, yeah. In any other sort of lifestyle, no, actually, I'm not even gonna go there, because you know what, it's kind of skewed, because when we look at the racial hierarchy of society, yeah, really, this just plays out in football. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to hear it. If you're on my channel and you're a subscriber and you don't like when I talk about these things, just log off, man. Do you know what I mean? But we've got to put all these things into context. If you strip down the business, if a new candidate came to you and said, listen, you're saying you want to be at the top, you want to exceed your profits this year, XYZ, and you look at my CV already says that I'm a failure. How do I get in front of you to have a conversation? If my CV is already saying I don't match up with the criteria of the organization, how the hell am I sitting in front of you? But Lampard gets in front of everyone. Yeah, being a failure, he gets in front. He still gets the interview, right? I don't know what this man is saying at the interview. I don't know if man's bringing some rum cake and giving it to the board members and saying, yo, just hold that, taste it. Yeah, you know what? Now you're a little bit tipsy. Now I'm gonna do the. I don't know. Or man's coming in with the Courvoisier. Yeah. You know what? If I come here, it's gonna be a bit of this. I don't know what this man is saying in the interviews. To all the time he's ending up a front runner. But then he didn't do that with the Norwich interview. Norwich didn't want him. But anyway, it looks like he's getting the Everton job. So once again, he gets a decent, because listen, as much as we banter them, right? And they are rivals, Everton's a big club. Don't get twisted. Don't look at the results on the pitch. They are victims of mismanagement. Everton's a big club, right? They got a big fan base. They got a very, very strong history up until the 1980s. But if you look at that, that tells you everything you need to know about the club. If they haven't won anything since 1995, Paul Rideout's header in the FA Cup final, they haven't won anything since then, and their fan base is still there. You know what I mean? They're still there, year in, year out. Proper supporters. Listen, I banter Everton all the time. Yeah, we banter them, but I respect them as a club. I still respect them as a club, and I respect their fans, because their fans have gone through absolute shit, and they're still there. That's proper football, not the Chelsea, sitting down, don't chant unless they score. Got no songs. Your history started in 2005 when Mourinho wins the title, because all the stuff before then, you lot were a second division team. You know what I mean? Second division, and you were just an upgrade of Millwall, Chelsea back in the day. It's only when Hullet and them man started coming down there, Hoddle brought all them man, Viali, them, they started coming. So, people start looking at Chelsea a bit different, and then now obviously the Abramovich era. But the reason why you lot still ain't got the ratings like Liverpool, because you ain't got no proper foundation, proper history, like footballing history, I'd say, a culture. You lot ain't got that. You lot have to go back to your Chopper Harris days. You lot can't. You ain't got a proper culture, because when you look at how you lot just fire managers after a year or two, that's not culture. No, that is a culture. That's a sacking culture. It's not a culture of pedigree, substance. That's why you lot don't have that. That's why you hate us. Anyway, Everton, Lampard. It can't be a better combination. I will eat. No, let me not even say that. I'll just eat my words. I don't need to say nothing extreme. If Lampard can get you into the Champions League, yeah. If Lampard gets Everton in the Champions League, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. You know what? I'll do a charity run. I'll run a marathon or something. Yeah, I'll do something for charity. If Lampard in the next 2 seasons gets Everton Champions League, if he gets Champions League football, if Lampard can get you Champions League football next 2 years, I will sign up to the marathon or like a charity run of some kind. Yeah, Mom, you can store this, because it ain't gonna happen. But I was watching an interview from Talksport, Tony Cascarino, and this guy, if I'll try and put the link in the bottom, but he summarizes Lampard's career to a T, to how I think. Yeah, give him credit. Tony Cascarino, he says it. Man's a lucky manager. He's a manager that's walking around with a golden spoon in his mouth. Let's see what he does, because even winning a trophy isn't enough these days to say someone's a top quality manager. Look at Arteta. Arteta won the FA Cup and he's a clown. You know what it is. There's nothing to say that Arteta might not come good in the future. There's nothing to say. So actually, let me not say Solskjaer, because he's not a good manager. Yeah, he's not a good manager. There's nothing to say Arteta might not come good. There's nothing to say that Lampard eventually doesn't come good. But my whole thing is this: when you haven't built up the pedigree and cut your teeth and learn about player personalities and psychology and implementing systems and sticking with a system and seeing the pros and seeing the cons and maybe having a few defeats and seeing how you bounce back from it, etc., etc. When you ain't got that in your tank, you're not well rounded and balanced. And the thing is, as well, when you're a young manager, you're going to be arrogant, so you're going to be stubborn, but you still need to learn from those experiences too. Like Arteta with Aubameyang, he's playing it wrong. I don't care what anyone says. Aubameyang is acting like an idiot, but Arteta needs to work out, how do I manipulate this guy where he thinks that he's okay and he's running things, but I'm getting the best out of him to play. Because that is what management really is. It's not always about I'm your friend. Sometimes it's about, listen, I got a job to do and I've got to work with these tools in front of me. How do I get the best out of them to get what I want? And acting like a bad man, like you're exiling people, anybody can do that. That's not great management. It's how you do it. If you got To me, if you exile Aubameyang, you sell him and cut the speculation one time. You talk to him one time, yo, move from the squad. We're gonna sell you, and I'm not talking about you anymore. It's a wrap. I tell any reporters, yo, don't raise this man's name in my interviews, because I'm not talking about him. He don't belong to this club. I'm just waiting for his contract to run down and for someone to come and get him. Job done. And then the thing is, when you make that decision as well, you need to make sure you're winning the matches. You're not winning the matches, now you look like an idiot. And this is what Arteta's doing. But I digress. Lampard, Everton, I think this guy is a match made. This is gonna be Ollie again. It's gonna be Ollie again. I'm telling you. It's gonna be Ollie again. You know what? I'm gonna predict? Lampard's gonna get the manager bounce, right? And everybody's gonna be all over it. He's gonna get 2 games, because he don't know this Everton squad. This Everton squad is shit. So you get manager bounce, like win 2 games or 2-3 games and draw a couple, right? He might even go unbeaten for 4. But then Everton are gonna get a slapping at home. Someone's gonna slap them at home, and then they're gonna get slapped again, and then the fans are gonna turn on him, and then that's when you're gonna see the real Lampard come out and see what he can do. Yeah, mark my words. But anyway, let's see how this one plays out. Let's see how this one plays out. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.